All right, we've begun. Welcome back to the Art Fisher podcast. We're going to be covering a triple feature here. These would be quite an interesting allotment, I would say, of movies to watch back to back to back, but I guess they kind of would make sense to do that. So we're going to be covering One Battle After Another, The Phoenician Scheme, and Honey Don't. And the reason why we're covering these movies is because we have covered each of these directors. So we covered Paul Thomas Anderson. We covered, oh boy, what's that guy's name? Oh, the other Anderson.
Wes Anderson?
Mr. Wes Anderson. And we covered Ethan Coen and his lovely wife as well.
Trisha
Cook. There we go. I'm struggling here. Couldn't remember Wes Anderson's name. Couldn't remember Trisha Cook's name. Yeah. So we covered the other films by these directors. So let's jump into One Battle After Another. I'm sure you'll be listening to this maybe in prep for the Oscars, or maybe you've seen it, or maybe you're going to see it. Let's cover One Battle After Another.
I mean, this is a sliding bar in terms of quality, at least in terms of what is the expected quality. Like, One Battle After Another is, being heralded as a masterpiece and not only one of the 2025's best films, but one of the best films ever made. Whereas
what? One of the best films ever made.
It has been heralded as such. A lot of people have been saying. Now, I haven't been saying, but a lot of people have been saying. You haven't heard these things? You haven't talked to a single person who didn't? So, we very recently made the controversial yet brave decision to talk about Sinners. And how Sinners is like a very beloved film. One Battle After Another is the only film from last year that is more beloved. It's the cream of the creme de la creme, cream of the crop, top of the line. People love that shit.
Well, allow me to get on my soapbox here, because I love Paul Thomas Anderson, love his movies. This movie was fine. I can't say I loved it. Certainly expected more. Before we get into our takes about the movie, though, and run down a rabbit hole of shittery, what is this movie about? We should probably establish that for the audience. It's about some controversial topics, right?
I don't rightly know what it's really. I know what it pretends that it's about, but I don't really know what it's exactly about. I guess precisely it's about.
Let's try to, for argument's sake, let's just devil's advocate here.
It is about two different love triangles. It is about a love triangle between a happy-go-lucky bomb-making anti-authoritarian played by Leonardo DiCaprio and a evil ICE agent. I don't really know what he's supposed. A military white supremacist played by Sean Penn, called like Mr. Lockjaw or Colonel Lockjaw. Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw. So it's the love triangle between them and first their lover, Perfida Hills, played by Teyana Taylor, and then that's the first half hour, and then the rest of the movie is the love triangle between them and their daughter. And it's unclear which one of them had the child with Teyana Taylor's character. So that's generally the plot of the movie, is the way that an actual radical revolutionary played by Taylor had a relationship with these two men for different reasons, had a daughter, and then the relationship between those two guys and the daughter. Which is it's all very metaphorical. Parasite, the movie, remember the movie Parasite with The Rock, and The Rock is a metaphor. This movie is that. This movie is it's a very metaphorical rock, and bash you over the brains with The Rock.
Yeah, the character's name is Perfidia. Do you know what perfidy means? Deliberate
What?
betrayal of trust, faithlessness, or treachery, often involving deceitful acts to gain an advantage. Not sure if the audience picked up on that one. Thank you, PTA, for folding that in there.
All I know is she was a fucking rat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all I learned from this movie.
and she pseudo abandoned her daughter.
Well, yeah.
Not that she really had a choice in the matter.
Well, right. Yeah, so that's the general plot. I mean, obviously the specifics of the plot is that Perfidia, like during a raid on what is, I'm pretty sure, explicitly said to be an ice camp.
Yeah.
She and
Leo
Calhoun / Rocket Man / Bob Ferguson raid this ice camp and free. This is a very funny movie, and like Paul Thomas Anderson is an incredible writer. I think this is one of his worst efforts to date as a screenwriter, but we'll get to that. It is a really funny movie.
It is a really funny movie. It's just the tone doesn't quite match the tone of the film itself doesn't quite match the hilarity with which it could be. Like if the Coens directed this one, it would be like the hamming it up part would be a little bit more on point, I think, with the point of the movie. But
it feels like if Wes Anderson wrote a script for Paul Thomas Anderson that Paul Thomas Anderson directed, because all the elements of Anderson's direction are there. Like it's an incredibly dynamic movie with incredible action set pieces, like memorable characters, but it's a very ensemble cast. The themes are very muddled. Nothing is really stated very well. There is a implicit moral code that runs throughout the whole movie, which is inconsistent and runs counterintuitive to the sort of moralizing that the film expects of the audience, which I guess in broad terms is just woke politics embodied.
Well, it's also a good
pilloried.
It's a good example, basically of what you're to illustrate this point. I teach English, and in teaching English, I try to break down that themes are not just one word. So like you can't just have the theme of love, right? Love is a big idea in a film. And I think that this movie demonstrates only big ideas. It doesn't illustrate themes. It like grasps at like a complex theme, but it doesn't really have like a statement about that theme other than just like ice bad. And then it illustrates that point by showing a cartoonish character in the form of Sean Penn, Lockjaw Man, who basically is as reprehensible and also is a man-child in the same way. That's all that it really has to say about that. It just has like one-word comments on moral issues. So it's not really like taking it's not really intellectually grappling with these complicated ideas. It's just kind of like dismissing them.
It just doesn't speak truth to power, and it inherently, explicitly, and implicitly says over and over again that it is speaking truth to power. And no amount of the times where it is being obviously tongue-in-cheek make up for the moments where it doesn't. And that is basically what makes this movie philosophically dead in the water to me. Like, everything else about it can still operate well enough as entertainment, but it's hard to get away from the fact that it wants to be serious and entertaining at the same time, when its seriousness is continually undercut by comedy and by that moralistic code that it expects you to follow, and sort of like sneers at you for maybe not following. Like it's easy enough to just like say that colonels who love locking people up in massive camps might have a tendency towards white nationalism. Like that doesn't feel controversial or in need of further evidence that may actually be self-evident, but that's not the moralistic code that I have an issue with. It's the code of the characters. It's the code or the complicated moral code of Perfidia Hills. And I think one of the biggest problems with the movie is that the most interesting character and the one who is supposed to balance the tight moral code between everyone else disappears, a fifth of the way in, a quarter of the way through.
Well, she's also like not that complicated of a character, despite like she is a complicated character, but she's not shown to be complicated because she's just like written out of it. So she's more of like a cardboard cutout because she's just like removed from the plot, basically.
That I disagree with. I mean, she is one of the only characters in the film that makes decisions, and it is her decisions that push the story along. And it's the lack of her, the powder keg of decisions that pushes the narrative along, disappearing, that causes anything later on to essentially just be a series of and thens rather than because or if or it's not connected to
that's what I'm saying.
She made.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that like as you're watching the movie, you just forget about her, but she is the one that has actually impacted the movie the most, or like the characters the most. So like I just would have had her be more central to the movie.
Well, I think obviously that's meant to be the point of the movie. The point of the movie is that like whatever modern day versions of revolutions are, either of people who once participated in actual revolutionary or like anti-establishment demonstrations or battles or whatever it is, like those types of people are now like Bob Ferguson. They're now old heads and they're not really doing anything anymore. And the young people meant to take up that mantle have role models and figures who are of questionable morals because they may have committed actual terrorism or murder or whatever it was of like non-participants in the battle for power.
Mm-hmm.
But like they're just echoes of that. They're not actually participating in it, and so they don't understand what it is. And if it was a movie about that exact topic, like the way in which the modern age and young people have to deal with an increasingly complicated world and the desire to fight against injustice through an infrastructure of powerful people who abuse their power, that would be a good movie. That's not the movie we got.
Yeah, I agree. On the surface level, I like enjoyed what was happening, but I found myself asking like to what end things were happening, and then it became I would say quite predictable by and large, which is not necessarily like a bad thing. It just, the movie was predictable. Yeah, I enjoyed the daughter. Like I thought that she was good in it.
Sure.
I felt like her performance was quite strong.
I thought she was good in certain scenes. I mean, she is clearly not the same type of actor as DiCaprio or Sean Penn or Benicio del Toro or even Teyana Taylor, who are all like top of the line A-list actors.
Chase Infinity is her name.
Yeah, she's clearly a new to the game, as it were.
Yeah, Teyana Taylor was really good. Perfidia. I really liked her in this.
Yeah, she will assuredly be winning an Oscar in a month.
Oh boy, I don't know if I can say this person's name on air.
Jim Downey?
Jungle Pussy. Rapper, actress, Jungle Pussy. Didn't know.
You're definitely allowed to say that.
Well, that's her name, apparently. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have that much more to say about One Battle After Another, other than it felt overrated, I guess. Um, with how people discussed this movie, with how they recommended it to me. There were scenes that kind of got me going. Then there were like the opening was cool. I was interested to see like how things would unfold from there and how the characters' stories sort of like intertwined, and yeah, like the love triangle is quickly introduced from there, and you kind of see how that unspools. Um, I think my least favorite part of the movie was the ending, which
Hey, that I agree with completely.
further de-emphasized the movie in a lot of ways, but like there was, I guess you could say, a chance to save the movie, and they just went and they just made it like the softest possible like stance or softest possible way of ending it, basically.
What do you mean?
Leo sitting on a couch and his daughter going out and being like, I gotta go make a difference in the world. Oh, be safe out there. I won't.
It just wasn't really an ending. It didn't really it didn't add a lot to the narrative at all. I agree with you. I think the ending felt very predictable. There's nothing in this movie inherently new, which is rare for Anderson. Like I feel like with Anderson, every movie of his for a very long time has like pushed me in some way. Like it's pushing some idea or some visual idea to a new extreme. And this one, weirdly enough, despite tackling a controversial subject matter of, immigration and race relations and white supremacy, it felt very safe, if only because it couched most of the characters in a very like black and white manner, despite the fact that it insists and seems to assume that immigration issues are not black and white. It's human issues that are black and white.
Mm-hmm.
But the ending certainly didn't feel like anything new. Like basically a series of chase scenes, um, which were finely executed. But like I've seen those shots before. Like I've just seen those exact shots over and over again.
The rolling hills.
Yeah, going over those hills. I mean, there are shots straight out of. Hilariously enough, some of them are straight out of Raising Arizona. Some of them are straight out of Mad Max: The Road Warrior. There are a few I noticed from some David Lynch movies, from Lost Highway in particular.
I was thinking that, even though I haven't seen Lost Highway, it reminded me of Lynch.
Yeah, and those I think were the best scenes of the movie, were the ones with the white supremacist Christmas party, because they were the ones that feel the most Andersonian. Like they're the most bizarre. They're like liminal spaces, which is a thing that like Lynch or Kubrick are really good at creating, are these sort of like otherworldly spaces in which like evil or something extra evil seems to exist.
Yeah.
Which is obviously meant to like contrast against the more simplicity of like um Bob and Willa, or whatever his name is, Pat and Charlene, since they all have multiple names. It's meant to contrast against like the sort of simplicity of their life versus the like strangeness and the pretension or wealth of the white supremacists. But it's definitely a very good movie. It's just not a good script. And sometimes that happens. More often than not, I think a lot of modern movies have mediocre direction and pretty good scripts, or they're just like mid or bad across the board. And this one is in that,
it's
great director, but
it's well directed, but the script was, yeah,
and the production is pretty good overall. It's certainly the biggest budget I think Anderson has ever worked with, and it's a hit. So that's good for him because he'll keep making new original movies. Certainly don't want him to stop. I mean, what did you think of like DiCaprio's performance? Since he is the lead of the movie, but like it doesn't really feel like a movie where he's chewing a lot of scenery. He's not like he's never the character pushing things forward. He's just following people.
He was fine in it. I believe one of my comments was, "Damn, I mean, I understand why he took the role. Like, I would take that role in a heartbeat. Just taking like a bumbling, like pseudo domestic terrorist who just smokes a bunch of weed.
Yeah,
Getting to team up with Benicio del Toro.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously Sean Penn and Teyana Taylor are the ones that kill it in terms of like really dynamic or big performances.
There were some good memes in this movie. Some great meme scenes.
Yeah, people really like the whistle. People really like the whistle. Oh, if you don't know about the whistle, you are racist, unfortunately.
Remind me of that scene.
I can't tell you about it if you don't know of the like you're just racist and you didn't understand the movie because you don't know about the whistle.
What part are you referring to?
Only one whistle in the whole movie.
Oh,
I can't explain it more. You're not in the know. You hate brown people.
I remember shots from movies. I don't remember sounds.
It's a shot. With the whistle, he's like this, and he does a whistle. I don't know what to tell you. It's just hateful.
Oh, when Leo did the whistle?
Some have been saying the whistle is what would win him the Oscar. Some people have been saying.
Yeah, this video says Leo deserves an Oscar for this Mexican whistle.
Some people, like I said, some of those people have been saying.
Hola, hola, amigo. ¿Pan dónde una troca negra? Una más pequeño señorita.
I also think that one other thing I wanted to say. So Paul Thomas Anderson is married to a Maya Rudolph, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's got something to do with this movie.
What'd you say?
I think that has something to do with this movie.
Oh, got it. Sorry, I was listening to the whistle scene where Leo is yelling in Spanish and then whistling.
If you had to get told about it at this point, it's unk. It's retirement time.
ICE is doing a great job. They've cleaned up Minnesota. They've done their work. They've gotten out. They've gotten out
because they did such a good job.
They left Minnesota because they had to track down Leo and everyone who can whistle that well.
They left Minnesota because they were somehow losing to peaceful protests. Just how do you take that L? Ramp up more.
Hold on a second. What's your messaging on Maya Rudolph? Why does this movie explain Maya Rudolph being married to him?
There are I think a few very obvious ways to read this movie. One of them is, in the abstract, it's a product made by fucking Warner Brothers to appeal to a certain sensibility to make money, and it succeeds on that. There's another reading of, this is a work of art by the artist Paul Thomas Anderson. What does it have to do with him and his body of work? And within that body of work, it's very unrelated, and it's basically a weird story about how he feels bad for being married to a black woman and not doing enough for the cause.
Yeah.
Because he's literally just an aging stoner who's no longer really connected to the youths.
Right. He's on his couch seeing his kid go out, and he's like, I remember those days.
He's watching Battle Algiers. Did you see the Battle of Algiers reference? This movie references good movies. It's a good movie.
They referenced Battle of Algiers several times, and then they actually showed it.
Over and over again. Several scenes ripped straight from Battle of Algiers. This movie is like Battle of Algiers.
I think I saw that as a middle schooler or a high schooler. I got to go back and watch that, but that movie is better Better.
Required watching. Yeah, the Battle of Algiers is a must-see in terms of pseudo-documentary and war films, occupation films.
Is that the one with the crazy shot that goes like way high above? I'm thinking of a different movie. Yeah.
That might be Z, Costa Gavras.
Yeah, I think so. I don't really have too much more to say on this one. I guess for me, probably a letdown, personally, because it's Paul Thomas Anderson, and I expect masterwork, I would say. For whatever reason, I keep coming back to the movie Phantom Thread, which I'll probably rewatch because I saw that on a plane and I thought was like fine, but then I like continually think back to that movie for whatever reason, and that movie was like so powerfully understated, and this movie was the opposite of that, I would say, by and large. So yeah, I mean, if you watched this movie and you loved it, or you watched this movie and you were like, wow, this was super overrated, I would encourage you to check out Paul Thomas Anderson's other movies. He's got a lot of them. I
recommend every movie of his. He's I don't even think he's at 10 yet. He's
definitely at 10.
10 movies?
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of 8 right now.
Hard 8, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love,
Inherent Vice,
Phantom
Thread,
Blood, The Master, Phantom Thread, the Pizza one, and this one. So he just hit 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, 8 for 10, not bad. Not bad.
8 for 10.
I don't know about this one. I mean, none of them are bad. They're all at least good. This is probably my least favorite. I did finally watch Licorice Pizza. I did not like Licorice Pizza. I have very little to say about Licorice Pizza.
There's no surprise there.
Just a weird pedo movie. I got very little to say about it.
You mean Nolan doesn't like an American coming-of-age comedy drama?
Romance.
Oh, man. But Benny Safdie's in it, and Elena Haim. Okay, let's move on.
People who would do better behind the camera than in front of it.
Yeah. Cool. So moving on to a different Anderson. We're gonna go into The Phoenician Scheme by Wes Anderson. This movie came out in, is it 25?
Yeah, all 3 of these movies came out last year.
Okay, got it.
2025, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so they're all was a good year to catch up on some of these guys that we talked about. These directors, all roughly the same age. They're all part of the same generation of filmmakers, starting to get older.
Yeah. Phoenician Scheme. So I think this kind of starts down the road of, this is a good moment to talk about how people are sort of hating on Wes Anderson now, and they don't want him to keep making his quote-unquote quirky movies, off-the-wall movies, or making the same movie and over again, but just layering them differently or putting them in different extravagant, exotic places.
Having a spy version of Michael Cera throughout your movies, not beating the quirky allegations, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want any of that shit, then maybe you should I can't say that on air. I was gonna say do something to Roman Coppola, because he's part of the writing team. What did we say off air about Roman Coppola? That he Daddy love me, Daddy I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
That's basically Roman Coppola's stories.
I mean, the what really needs to happen is before Hayao Miyazaki retires, he needs to make a movie written by Roman Coppola, where because like Hayao Miyazaki's last 25 years of his career have been dedicated to making films apologizing to his children for not being around enough. And Roman Coppola has been doing nothing but writing films where he just keeps asking, "Daddy, do you love me? Daddy, do you love me? Why aren't you home, Daddy?" So they need to pair up together to make a movie because we've seen the shit that Francis Ford Coppola has been making recently. He doesn't give a fuck about his kids. He is pissed off. He makes wine and bad movies now, and that's all he does.
I mean, that guy is masturbating all over the screen. Like, he's lucky he even has kids. Yeah, he's something else. Anyway, the Phoenician Scheme. This is another one of those crazy ensemble casts. You've got Benicio del Toro, Mia Thrapleton, like an up-and-coming actress. She's been in a number of things.
Baby.
What?
Nepo baby.
Oh, the daughter of Kate Winslet. Oh, Michael Cera, Riz Ahmed, Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston, Jeffrey Wright, Scarlett Johansson, Benedict Cumberbatch, Rupert Friend, all sorts of fun people. Charlotte Gainsbourg, Willem Dafoe, Bill Murray, F. Murray Abraham. Who the hell is
Richard Brody?
Who was Bill Murray in this?
God.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, God beat those allegations, so he gets to star in another movie.
He beat the allegations.
Yeah, he just swatted them away like God does. Just said no. We're good.
Might be a diddler.
He very well might be. So I loved this movie. I really liked it. It was one of those movies that I found myself like incessantly laughing throughout, which I will say I don't always do in Wes Anderson movies. Sometimes the humor is like, I don't want to say too offbeat, but it's like a little bit too forced at times with its offbeatness. This one I felt like was just really prime with its offbeat beats. Yeah, it worked really well. It was very well written. I mean, I'm a sucker for Benicio del Toro, who's the main character in it. Michael Cera's character like destroyed me in a good way. He was really, really funny and really goofy, and then his like whole character arc is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, there's insane convolution, which is notorious for Wes Anderson, but yeah, I fully enjoyed it.
The plot of the movie is like the billionaire mogul played by Del Toro wants to gift his empire to his estranged daughter played by Threppleton, and in order to do it, he needs to bring her along to complete his like 6-way parlay international business deal to like basically develop Palestine, but it's a fictionalized version of Palestine, and then it's just them going to meet the various parties to create this deal. And of course it's an Anderson movie, so every single party has to be both played by a famous A-list actor, and every single scene devolves into chicanery and nonsense very quickly.
Playing a game of horse basketball versus Bryan Cranston and Tom Hanks in like a mine shaft or something.
Yeah. No, it's in a tunnel for a railroad, and they haven't completed the railroad yet.
Good God. And Michael Cera is like hammered. He's like super drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these actors are regulars now of Wes Anderson's films. They all know what they're doing. They're all great actors. They don't need to prove anything. They basically just deliver the material professionally. I think this is It's not my favorite Anderson movie. I think it is a little lower quality than maybe his last 3 or 4. But
Yeah,
I
that's
still
fair.
thoroughly enjoyed it, and I still think that I will defend that if you dislike Anderson's movies, you simply dislike the form of film. Like, you just don't really like movies. Because, like, yeah, at times it's a little more deadpan than it needs to be, and the humor is, like, pretty black for how otherwise, like, sort of offbeat and whimsical the general style of writing is. But, I mean, this is just a fun movie, even with the darkness underlaying it. And I think that's kind of been Wes Anderson's bread and butter this entire century, has been balancing that level of whimsy and dry humor and a very, very specific type of structured filmmaking. I
Yeah.
think he obviously perfected a decade ago with Grand Budapest and has been, to various extents, experimenting within it. This one feels less experimental than I think his last two, which, I mean, Asteroid City really stretches how dry the material can be while still having an interesting series of almost vignettes and an increasingly large cast of characters, as opposed to The French Dispatch, which is actually a series of vignettes, but couched in a very particular style of storytelling.
I liked this more than French Dispatch, personally, for whatever reason. It, like, I can recognize French Dispatch, I think, as being technically better, but I just enjoyed this one more for whatever reason, subjectively. I think the humor just landed better, whereas the French Dispatch was like a little bit more pretension than I had wanted. But
I think The French Dispatch is like, the way it's broken up, you know, it's like 3 short films and then 2 like really, really short films tacked onto the beginning and the end. The one with Del Toro as the artist and Swinton as the like art historian that promotes his work.
those
that,
are clearly
I think, is
the
a
best.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And the
my
one
favorite.
One with Chalamet and Frances McDormand is like one of the worst stories Wes Anderson's ever told. And then the last one with Jeffrey Wright is like half a masterpiece and then half just like things coming undone, presumably because the budget ran out
COVID.
for the whole film. It just went off the rails and they're like, put some animation at the end. Fuck it.
Yeah, that shit did not work. There was an attempt there. Yeah, I still need to watch Moonrise Kingdom. God damn.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the other short films he made?
I haven't seen any shorts by him.
He made, it's a collection of them. It's The Wonderful Adventures of Henry Sugar. It's a Netflix original Rogue Doll adaptation series of shorts by him.
I haven't, no. I remember we
They're
talked
all
about this a
good.
number of times.
Yeah, they're all good. I mean, it's the you know the actors. It's the same actors as in this movie. They're just in Rogue Doll stories.
Good God. Yeah, I'm like we said before, this is like a recurring theme now of like, I think we're starting to realize like how to make statements at the end of like, by and large, this is nice to see. He's still making movies and that big actors still want to be in his movies. I think audiences are starting to sort of like shy away from his movies or like pale on them some, just because they are kind of like, oh, we like know what to expect with him, like it's the same bullshit every time. But I'm here for it. I definitely fully enjoy them. Sorry, this is a good moment to take a break. We will be right back. And we're back. Back at it after talking about Wes Anderson's new movie. Time to talk about Honey Don't. Honey Don't. We're going to cover... speaking of nepotism, we've got some more Nepo babies on this one. Were there any Nepo babies in one battle after another? I'm sure somewhere there was.
I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson's a Nepo baby, so...
I was just gonna ask. Who was his dad or grandfather?
Ernie Anderson.
Who the hell is that?
He was a nobody.
Got it. Okay.
There's no reason you'd ever know who he is. His dad was like in the entertainment industry. He's not really a Nepo baby.
Gotcha.
The skids were greased for him to get a career, and he hit multiple home runs. I think it's safe to say that he has earned the career that he has. Yeah.
So the person that I'm saying is a Nepo baby is Margaret Qualley, but she also is good. Like she's a good actor.
She's already clearly outshone her own mother, so that's the problem there.
Yeah. So Honey Don't is it the second or the third movie of the tag team of Ethan Coen and Trisha Cook?
Dose.
Okay.
Well, it's the second of this lesbian B movie trilogy. It is like the 20th movie they've worked on together.
Oh, okay. Got it. Right, because she edited a lot of the Coen brothers movies. Yeah.
I assume she also helped them write scripts. I mean, she appears to just be an integral part of Ethan's creative process.
Oh yeah, definitely. So this movie, as Nolan said, is a continuation of the lesbian comedic romp that these two husband and wife are tag teaming on in coming up with. The first one was Drive Away Dolls, which Nolan and I did an episode on that, actually coupled with The Tragedy of Macbeth. If you'd like to view that one, that's back in our episode catalog. And that one we both really liked. This one, I cannot say the same thing for. It did not fully land for me. But how would you describe the plot of this?
Cliche.
Yeah.
I mean, this, like, where Drive Away Dolls felt like not necessarily the reinvent. No, I'd go that far. I'd say Drive Away Dolls is like a reinvention of a type of like crime B movie that probably used to go straight to TV or something. Like it felt like a TV movie with its very small production that was made by like real professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, it sort of elevates the material and it has this sort of literary quality to it. It helps that there's constant references to like Henry James, and that like it's just, just a. Drive Away Dolls is like a real movie made by real like great filmmakers that works out and is great. This feels like none of that. This feels like just a slap together script. Like we're just making this on spec. We just gotta bust this shit. Let's crap this shit out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this felt like. It's not that there's no passion behind it, but there's no soul behind it. It's basically just like, let's make a dumb genre movie.
That is what it felt like. Like, as the movie begins, you are cheering for the movie, and then, like, halfway through, you're like, oh boy. Is this thing gonna get saved? And then 3/4 of the way, you just hope and pray it ends at like, within the next scene. I would say. Yeah. This is a good example of a movie of things are just happening. Where Drive Away Dolls did have some like funny moments of like lesbian humor and like, yeah, there was some sexual references or things crammed in there. At times it kind of worked well, I would say. This one, there was a lot of gratuitous, I would say, violence and just scenes of sex that didn't really serve any other point than just being like, let's show this on screen.
I mean, you can make like just a dumb lesbian like crime movie, and this doesn't have any pretensions to be anything above that.
Mm-hmm.
But as a result, because there's no real depth, it's just exploitation. Like it's just genre exploitation.
Yeah.
And it's not done particularly well. And I think that stands out because Ethan Coen, it's been like pretty much 20 years since he's just crapped out a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the fact that it boasts 4 A-list celebrities makes it feel weirder because it feels like you're watching a prank movie. Because it's like, how did they agree to be in this crappy movie?
Yeah.
But we know why. It's because we know Ethan Coen and Trisha Cook are capable of making great movies. I guess for somebody like Chris Evans, it's he's just looking for an excuse to be in anything that's not just like mainstream
action schlock, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, high calorie garbage versus Aubrey Plaza, just like clearly her preference is like, I want to be in weird stuff, and this is not dissimilar from other things she's done, like Ingrid Goes West, or like she's been in all range of movies. Even her late husband Jeff Bana's movies are like closer to this than anything else. Maybe not in low quality standards, but and Charlie Day is pretty much only in bad movies.
Yeah, he's kind of like a marker or a badge of how good is the movie gonna be? What's the
I want to say
low ceiling there?
I think the best movie he's been in terms of like what I would say is the highest quality film is Pacific Rim. That's where he tops out in terms of what roles he takes.
Still haven't seen that one. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been told it's just I don't know, man. It's a lot of mechs and stuff of that nature. I'd rather play a video game than watch that.
It is just a mech action movie, like a rarefied like Mexican directing a mech American movie. It's starring Charlie Hunnam and a Japanese lead. It's a weird combination of things, and
Mech America. Yeah.
Nothing about it is American. There, other than the money funding it. Nothing about that film is American.
Yeah, Honey Don't. I definitely went in thinking it would be funnier and better because of Drive Away Dolls, and I was like pretty excited for it. But yeah, it's like you said, it's kind of a piece of crap. There's not really it's like a shiny turd, I guess you could say. Like it. Yeah.
There's no one scene in particular I would point to and say like this is a bad scene. Like it's all of the same quality. Like it is not bad because it didn't want to be bad. They just didn't. Nothing about it cares. Like it's a very laconic script, and as a result, it is a very like laconic film. Like it just is This is a truly low energy film that didn't want to be anything but, and that makes it interesting in a way, but not really worth your time.
God damn it! I don't know why I thought this, but now we've got to come up with like badges for the podcast that we can give out, like the Honey Don't, never go full Honey Don't, like Honey Don't, Don't do that. Like, that's a good one. The full begonia. We really got to dig into Lanthimos so we can get that one out. Cause
I'm ready to do a Lanthimos episode.
I'm not. I still haven't seen like Dogtooth and God knows those other weird ones.
Alps.
I mean, I have to watch these weird ones by myself, and I was not a fan of Old Boy. That was too strange, too weird.
Are you saying the incest movie where he eats live animals and like tortures people was weird? Yeah, huh?
It was a good Valentine's Day film.
Oh, that's the divorce is on the way.
We should have just watched Drive Away Dolls.
You can't do Old Boy on Valentine's Day.
It was upon further reflection that I realized that had aligned, but thankfully it was the pizza stone that cracked in half and not my heart.
I mean, that the only way that you do that on Valentine's Day is then you give her a card that says like, we're cousins, oops.
Oh my god. Yeah, we do have to watch Lady Vengeance though. That one Lady
Vengeance is even weirder.
Alright, well maybe I'll watch that one by myself. At any rate, yeah, that should do it on
about The Handmaiden.
On this trio of films for 2025. We've got a couple more episodes in the pipeline for you. We'll try to get this one out sooner rather than later in anticipation for the Oscars coming next month in March. Did you have any closing thoughts on any of these?
I mean, it just feels like a catch-up to talk about. So, like, sort of, we've talked about these directors. Obviously, my goal is to do more episodes on full bodies of work just to see, like, how directors operate and change over time. And this does show three very different versions of those directors of a same age group, and they're all three of them are American. Obviously, we're moving into different non-American filmmakers or non-traditional ones, because by all accounts, these are like traditional mainstream filmmakers. Even if all three of them make like slightly off the beaten path movies, they are mainstream. Like, One Battle After Another is Warner Brothers, and Wes Anderson is his own brand, which makes him mainstream. Yeah, I don't know that we'll do we're not going to do an Oscars episode because I don't care who wins, and I know you just don't like the entire procession of the Oscars, and I think it would be pulling teeth to get you to watch some of these bad movies that are nominated every year.
Yeah, I have like a significant backlog of movies from like the last 50 years, like from 20 years ago, and like 70 years, I guess, of movies I would like 100% rather watch. Like, yeah, I'll go watch A Sinners, I'll go watch One Battle After Another, I'll go watch those movies, but there's a number of other movies that I want to watch that are Oscar nominated, like The Secret Agent. Like, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch Hamnet. Those ones I'll watch. But then there are other ones that are like completely filtered out that at some point I'll watch them, but they're just not at the top of my list, basically.
What?
What ones are not?
Yeah, you basically just named all of them. Like, in terms of the best picture race, like, really all the other awards are like political, or there's some other weird iteration. Like, the best picture one that's the only award that really matters. Like, the acting awards are either just offshoots of a great performance led to the best picture thing, or they're just like, there's this movie that's pretty good, but it has this one really great performance in it.
Yeah, the two movies I named are ones I'm gonna see. Outside of that, not interested.
Hamnet is going to be one of those movies that's on my list for years and I never watch. And I know that because Nomadland has been on my list for years and I'm never going to watch it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I still haven't seen Nomadland. Wait, what's the one? Oh, the Skarsgård one. That's the other one that we were talking about that I'll probably watch as well. What's that one called?
Yeah. Sentimental Value.
Right. All right.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of other episodes, I don't think we'll talk that much about movies from 2025. It was not a great year for American films.
No, great year for foreign films.
It's every year.
Yeah. Man, Chan-wook Park. Speaking of Old Boy, I really got to see his other movies so we can do an episode on him. Those of you uninitiated out there, go check out Chan-wook Park.
Laugh and the world laughs with you. Cry and you cry alone.
Yeah, he's got some killer movies. All right, that should do it. Shit happens in life. Make the most of shiny shits. Adios.